about last night how he prepared for the role, and he was saying that he and his father kind of talked it through, and anytime he would go into a spot in a movie, he had filled in the backstory of that character. So.
Well, yeah, the thing about it is, it's interesting because Cody says that, but I also know his father is a terrific teacher, and he's taught him so much. But Cody also has a totally natural, innate ability, maybe because of the fact that he has an actor's family. His father's an actor, his sister's an actor, and his father obviously has trained him the way to work. Cody, to be honest with you, his father ended up not being around much because he was working on something, and Cody was working a lot on his own, and his instincts, I have to say, were astonishing. And one of the things that I was really fortunate, I had never really worked extensively with children before, and JJ, who I did Cloverfield with, he has a relationship with Steven Spielberg, and because I was thinking of E.T. and all of those kind of movies, I asked him, I said, you know, do you think I could talk to Steven Spielberg? And he said to me, well, let me ask him, and Steven Spielberg did talk to me, and I was like, oh, this is cool. And after I got over the fact that I was talking to Steven Spielberg, I said, so let's talk, you've worked with so many amazing kids. What do you do? What do I need to know? And he said, what you need to know is that they are the actual ages of the kids. You've got to go to them, find out what their point of view is. And that was true for Cody. I would walk into a scene and I'd say, okay, so here we are, we're in your room. Where would you be? What would you do? And he'd go, oh, keeping it real, I'd probably start over here. And I'd be like, let's do that, that's amazing. And he came up with so many, I mean, it's interesting because you try to get so much of the kid's eye point of view when you're doing something, and we'd be shooting something in that scene where Elias Codius, who's the policeman, has finally found out where Abby is, and he's coming. We're sitting there, and first of all, he asked, you know, there's restricted number of hours that they're supposed to shoot, and he literally at a certain point started having so much fun, he started saying, can I stay longer? Can we do more things? I was like, okay, as long as your dad will let you stay, and whoever his guardian was that day. And we started shooting this thing, and he's sitting on the ground, and as we're setting up a shot, he goes, you know what'd be really cool? What if the policeman stepped on that toy bird that we were playing with last night? And I was like, that is the coolest idea ever. And I was like, I love it. And the truth is, you know, the movie actually was made on a fairly tight budget. We didn't have a lot of time. It really was a labor of love for all of us that were doing it. And so I didn't even have the time to do that. I shot the shot of Elias, but then I didn't have the time for everything else. So finally, in the middle, while one night we were doing the scene on the stage with the car crash, there was a moment where I was like, okay, now I'll run out to the other stage, we'll go back to that set, and I'll put on Elias's pants, I'll put on his boots, and we'll find some way, in some kind of like low-budget film way to finish this, and Greg Fraser put the camera over my shoulder. And it was all because Cody had come up with an idea that I didn't want not to have in the movie. And so that's one of the great things that I learned in working with these kids, is just you have to really keep yourself open to their ideas, and he's a genius, and she's a genius too, she's great.